Hey guys, back again with another video, and here is a mid to late 1980s Sears 12-inch desk fan made by Lasko. Got this along with 3 other fans in a Let Go posting, if you've seen my other videos. And this, if you remember, this was the worst one in the batch because this needed a lot of work. So I took it apart, cleaned it out, I oiled it because it had a very wild motor knock, and it turns out it's just the bearings. So I oiled the bearings, and that fixed that. But this thing has had better days, and I'll say that because the motor sounds like it's about to crap out, and it's just sounding, it makes a lot of noise, it buzzes, but maybe in the future, if I can find another Lasko 2150, I might do either a motor swap or just swap parts over. Because these fans, these Sears branded Laskos are pretty uncommon. They're not rare, they're just uncommon. Because there's several out there that other collectors have and I've seen. But I'm glad I just finally got my hands on one. So anyway, here's the badge. It's probably the greatest Sears logo of all time, which is sad because they're going under, which is pretty cool why I got one of these. Here's the base. It's your standard Lasko 2150, just labeled under Sears, so it has their super long Sears model number, if you know about Sears appliances. Has a very, very dark ashy grayish brown translucent blade. It's darker than the Crosby brown. It's about like blackish brown. Has the plastic handle on the motor housing and the super wide cages like on most 2150s. And has some yellowing, but that's not too bad. Though this head is, the heads on these 2150s were like the Achilles heel of the fan, so they'd always crack and break. So to find one that isn't broken is pretty lucky. Show the back. So this is a mid to late 80s, so it has this motor housing and the oscillator knob. Now on other ones, like on the 16-inch ones, the motor housing was split right here. And then this is a separate piece, and then the handle's connected to this piece. So, show the other side. There is some interesting yellowing patterns on there, which is pretty interesting. Because like I've never really seen weathering do that. And it's pretty, like I said, it's pretty badly yellowed right there. Show the bottom. I'm gonna do this one-handed. It's pretty dirty. There's the Sears tag, like I was saying. Sears Roebuck & Co., Chicago, Illinois, 60684, TEX, 120 volt, 60 hertz, 0.65 amps, model 453-803222. Listed 154C, and then there's the, I guess it's not really a date code, but these are always printed on these Laskos. The date code is, to be said, it's on the motor housing, or the motor, what's the word? The motor body itself, like within the housing, on the motor frame. Well, with no further ado, might as well turn it on. Here's low. See, it's mostly vibration, but it still has a motor whine. This thing has some really bad sounds when I first got it. It was in rough shape. But has a pretty nice white noise sound, that motor whine. Show it oscillating. Some of that noise could also be from bearing sleeves getting too old and they're wearing down. I'm gonna go by one more time. Oh, shut up. And here's medium. Get out of the jet blast right there. It is a tad bit, the blade is a bit off balance, just a tad. So like whenever it's on the spin down, depending on where it like stops, it'll rotate backwards. Oh no, it's a pretty solid quality fan. This is waiting. Now it's climbing up. And high. We'll show it oscillating. You'll see if the blade will go backwards on this spin down, like I was saying. Spin down is pretty decent. I wish it would be better, but this thing was used a lot in its day, which is why the motor is getting weak and the bearings are starting to get tougher or rougher. But for now, it's still a pretty great fan and it's still living up. Now, one thing I forgot to say, when I got it, it did come with all its original cage clips, but in the process of cleaning and taking it apart, 2 of them broke because they're just brittle. But luckily, I have another 80's Lasko. It's a 9-inch Dayton branded one, and it had a good amount of cage clips, so I just donated to this one. So now it's basically perfect. Well, I guess that's it. I mean, I guess I can show up a startup sound, but it already makes enough motor noise itself. It's not really much because you can already hear it. So yeah, here's a mid to late 1980s Lasko Sears 12-inch test fan. Please like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Stay tuned.